This discussion board forum is on the great constitutional amendments, and I will be focusing on the Second Amendment to the Bill of Rights, which states, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." This video is primarily an examination of the purpose or intent behind the wording of the Second Amendment. Robert Shellhop's article, "The Ideological Origins of the Second Amendment," notes that there are two primary modern interpretations of the Second Amendment today. Opponents of restricted gun measures emphasize the free individual's rights and focus on the phrase "the right to bear arms." Advocates of more restrictive gun measures focus on collective rights and responsibilities. They focus on the phrase "a well-regulated militia." Shellhop notes that Congress's intent was to protect two distinct yet intimately related rights: the individual's right to possess arms and the right of states to form militias. The intent behind the Second Amendment had sources that went back for hundreds of years. These will help provide some context on the wording of the Second Amendment in 1789. The Florentine tradition starts with Niccolo Machiavelli around 1500. Machiavelli believed that liberty rests upon the role of arms in society. The citizen warrior is the staunchest bulwark of a republic, protecting against corruption in the government. Second, Sir Walter Raleigh around 1600. Raleigh noted several tendencies of tyrants. First, to unarm his people of weapons, money, and all means whereby they may resist his power. Also, that in a monarchy, the most usual way to prevent sedition is to take away the subject's arms. Third, John Trenchard and Thomas Gordon believed that citizens must be able to defend themselves against their rulers, or they would lose their liberties and live in tyranny. And finally, Joel Barlow talked about how the danger, where there is any, from armed citizens is only to the government, not to the society. And as long as they have nothing to revenge in the government, there are many advantages in their being accustomed to the use of arms and no possible disadvantage. The context provided by these sources helps clarify the purpose behind the Second Amendment. The purpose is found in both of those phrases earlier. The phrase "the right of the people to keep and bear arms" was meant to act as a check on the powers of government and the application of power in a tyrannical manner. This is an individual right. A well-regulated militia is then necessary to organize resistance collectively. Though distinct, these rights are nearly inseparable in theory and certainly in practice. Elbridge Gerry, in the 1789 debate over the amendment in the House of Representatives, stated that "this Declaration of Rights, I take it, is intended to secure the people against the maladministration of government." He goes on that whenever government means to invade the rights and liberties of the people, they always attempt to destroy the militia in order to raise an army upon their ruins. Gave Massachusetts in the 1770s as an example. Joseph Story's 1833 commentaries on the Constitution states that "the right of the people to keep and bear arms has been justly considered as the palladium of liberties of a republic, since it offers a strong moral check against the usurpation and arbitrary power of rulers, and will generally, even if these are successful in the first instance, enable the people to resist and triumph over them." He also notes that the importance of a well-regulated militia would seem undeniable. It cannot be disguised, as there needs to be some organization for these arms that the people will have. William Rowell's 1829, A View of the Constitution of the United States, in reference to the phrase "shall not be infringed," notes that the prohibition is general. No clause in the Constitution would by any rule of construction be conceived to give Congress a power to disarm the people. Okay. And that just disappeared on me. Hey, here we go. The government would only attempt to take away this right in the blind pursuit of inordinate power. A well-regulated militia is necessary to the security of a free state, a proposition from which few will dissent. The militia form the palladium of the country. They are ready to repel invasion, to suppress insurrection, and preserve the good order and peace of government. In conclusion, the Second Amendment is worded with the intent to act as a check on the potentially despotic powers of government by guaranteeing individuals the right to arm themselves and then providing for the organization of that resistance through militias.